Hey, we're back.
We are the Latvian versus the American. We are coming at y'all hot today. We've got a lot of stuff to go through very, very quickly. And I am now actually kind of looking excited to this kind of bullet points, kind of do. What can I remember at the top of my head? This is going to be exciting.
Exactly, just straight to the point. Latvia and Arizona represent.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so the first card, UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa. All right. Armand, for you right off the bat, anything that jumps out at you?
I mean, obviously, Israel Adesanya's performance. I mean, it was just he fought like the perfect fight. It was just his striking is just so smooth, and he doesn't take unnecessary risks, but he just has that trigger. And I felt like Paulo Costa was just a bit overconfident with his striking, not really checking those leg kicks, and just ended up backfiring on him.
Yeah, yeah, Izzy did what he needed to do. He looked great. I think he was going to win regardless. I think Paulo could have given himself a much better chance by being a little bit more pressured or pressuring him. So weird performance. We'll see how Paulo kind of responds from that. But now it looks like Izzy versus the winner of the fight tonight.
Cannonier, yeah, Navidiker, yeah. But yeah, I don't know about Costa. He'll definitely need to step his game up. Like I think he definitely got exposed in this fight a lot.
Yes, sir. And then when Izzy, like at the end of the fight, when he basically like raw dogged him, I was like, that is so disrespectful. Oh my god, I just
I mean, Adesanya can do some crazy things if he gets disrespected and gets mad. I think he definitely has a mean streak in him.
Ooh, that gets me, man. And one thing I'm super excited about was the Jan Blachowicz for a couple of reasons. No diss on Dom, but for a new champion, you gotta have the guy knock out the guy that the former champ just basically lost to. You know what I mean? That's how you had to have it happen. I mean, he's Polish. I think he's the first major Polish male champion.
Yes.
And so
apart from boxing, maybe, but yeah, in MMA, that's for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Dom will learn from this. I think he'll grow. Obviously, he's fantastic. So I think that was great. I think the knockout was fantastic. I think it was an interesting style matchup, and I think if Dom makes a few adjustments, that could be totally different. So I'm seeing rematches in the future.
Really excited with Blachowicz. Yeah, he's big win for European MMA. He was quite the prospect back in the day. He was really excited about him getting in the UFC. Kind of started well, but then had some losses. Kind of thought he was going to be a gatekeeper status for a while, but just kind of rebounded and managed to take his opportunity. And I mean, DC was really interesting about it. He was just kind of almost picking on Dom Reyes. You had it right there. This was your chance to just take the belt, and you just couldn't capitalize on it.
It's interesting when fighters do interviews because you do see like subconsciously which ones they're fans of, teammates of, or fought. It's so yeah, it's funny when they pick on certain people. And then honestly, I'm looking at at least the prelims. I guess the only thing that I could bring up on the prelims would be Diego Sanchez's like attempt at Jorge Masvidal's knee. I know you've seen that meme or that video. Have you not?
I actually have not. I think I missed out on that actually.
Beginning of the third round, he starts like how Jorge did, like hands back, bro, and then like does it, and then just run and tries it and misses by like yards, dude. And look it up. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Matthews 30-26 win. So yeah, I don't know. Diego might need to consider a Bellator or Legends League.
Legends League, baby, Legends League.
Have him fight Vitor Belfort.
All right, and really quickly, just to finish up the whole main card, I don't know why I skipped to Diego Sanchez real quick. Brandon Royval won by submission. I think in 2 fights, this guy's already in the top 10, possibly in the top 5. Super curious to see what happens there with his unorthodox submission game. Caitlin Vieira did what I thought she was going to do against Cesaro Eubanks. Kind of controlled everywhere. Hakeem Dawodu, kind of a lackluster performance. A lot of people. I think maybe I'm incorrect now, but I thought the other guy won, but super close. And then that's all for me on this one. Any finishing thoughts for you?
Oh, absolutely. I can jump on to the next card, and I guess on top of my head, like some of the top performances were Duško Todorovic, who was a guy I mentioned in one of the previous podcasts as like a big up and comer, and again, just dominant finish. I think definitely could be on the rise at middleweight. Also, Kyler Phillips from the lab
Yes, I
also
was
had
gonna.
a great performance. Yeah, just like dictated the fight really well. I think it's definitely could have a very bright future at bantamweight for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was every time I try to interject. Sorry, I kept trying to interrupt you because I was just making sure we were on the same card. But yeah, the Holly Holm Irene one. Yeah, Kyler Phillips with the finish. His freaking celebration was fantastic. I loved it. It got me so jazzed. It made me try to do those tricks, and I landed on my neck. Jermaine Durandame submitted Juliana Pena. What the flying fadoodle is that about? I was hoping Pena was going to win just because I was going to be some new blood up there. But, maybe Jermaine could work herself back up. She's always dangerous. Holly Holm, from what I saw, pretty much won every second of that fight. Kind of won everywhere. Let me see what
happens. And then Carlos Condit back in the win column. I guess that's another takeaway, big name. And I guess based on this
Dan Hardy wants that rematch.
Oh yeah, they were very respectful in that post-fight interview, but I guess that could be an interesting one. I mean, Dan Hardy, I don't know what kind of shape he is right now, but like he wants a fight. That's definitely for sure. He's been beefing with different guys, even Herb Dean for years. He wants to fight someone.
He's beefing with officials now, man. And then the only last thing here I see, just to shout out the lab again, would be Casey Kennedy getting the winner earlier on in the night. And he's fighting tonight. So a lot of fights back to back. I like it when they're busy because they're getting paid.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going.
Next one with the Moraes and Corey Sanhagen card, I guess. It's again spinning head kicks, bro, like Vitor Belfort would say.
Yes, spinning. It's a spinning head kick, bro. Yeah, no, dude, that's great. That was a great win by Corey Sanhagen. Just kind of like almost like the JDS one against Mark Hunt, where it kind of like just kind of grazed.
Yeah. And it's almost looked like pro wrestling type of selling, the way he was just like flipping after taking the kick. It was almost like he got hit with sweet chin music and he tried to like just make it look really good.
Yeah, it was like one of my favorite things ever is watching The Rock sell when he would get stone cold stunnered and he would just like
that's exactly what I was like thinking right away. It looked like he took the stunner.
You get electrocuted, right?
Yeah.
But I think this is a great one for Corey Sanhagen. I was high on Moraes. I actually thought he was going to win this fight. And he's got a quick turnaround. I think he's already scheduled again for another fight. I may be crazy about that. So he's looking to get back in there. Corey, obviously, that's a great win coming off of his kind of quick loss to Aljamain. That's exactly what you need to put yourself right back in there.
Yeah, and Aljamain, I mean, has the title shot, so I mean, he might still be back up there. Really, might get one more good win and could get a title shot.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at another card, there was more and more spinning head kicks, and you had like probably one of the best knockouts I've ever seen in combat sports. Like, I mean, that was. What do you think about that?
We're talking about the Buckley one, right?
Absolutely.
Dude. Like, that was like a movie. That was like the kick was caught, and then it paused, and then he thought, if I just spin, leave the air, and just boom, sweet chin music. Like, it was crazy. And then the way he went out, man, and how athletic. And first off, because I think another thing was that it was the element of surprise because Buckley is a big, thick man. Like, I don't know about you, but I didn't expect that spinning kick.
Yeah, and he doesn't necessarily also have that like long-legged like build, like, let's say like I would see Adesanya doing something like that, but not him. And yeah, I mean he caught him by element of surprise, and it just feels like the power he generated because he didn't really have his feet planted or anything. It's just you must have practiced that some way, shape, or form, because you cannot do it just the first time.
I think I can see you practicing that. I can see you drilling. I can see you drilling that. And that's the thing. I can see that being a technique. Like I can totally see him getting kicked, and then he's in sparring, and then he spins and tries it. So it looked
Yeah, I mean,
good.
the closest thing I've attempted is probably if you miss a head kick and then you kind of attempt like a sweet chin music type of kick right after if you miss it. But this was like a whole new level.
Yeah. It was basically a turning side kick to the body, just with you having to jump because your legs caught. But
Yeah.
you hit the nail right on the head, man. That was, if that happened in a championship fight, that would be considered probably the greatest knockout ever.
Yeah, I think hopefully Buckley can build a name off of this and just become an established name, and then he could definitely be known for this, and this knockout won't disappear in the history books.
Because that's what would happen if he doesn't become like a notable identity. That is something that would just fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
All right, and the only other two that I can see would be Edson Barboza still staying relevant, man, putting the work on. Mirikani, he had some knockdowns. I had 2 knockdowns. Yeah, Mirikani had some takedowns.
Yeah, I
But
mean, he's definitely has the wrestling and the submission game, Americani, but yeah, when he gets put up against like someone caliber of striking of Edson Barboza, yeah, it was just a different game.
All right, and now the next card?
I guess yeah, we can. This just one last one remaining. The Brian Ortega and Chan Sung Jung. I guess Ortega kind of had this rejuvenated look with the shaved head, and it's gonna pay dividends. That shows some good striking.
If I had hair like his, I would have never shaved. But hey, man, it worked. He was aerodynamic when he fought because he looked great. His striking looked fantastic. He looked completely different from his previous fight. And I love when this happens because it's almost like you need to see fights to see improvement. But what you see is in 2 years, you can, not necessarily catch up, but you can seriously close the gap, even if you're not fighting and if you're really focusing in on, building on.
Right.
So I think that's important to highlight because, I mean, I'm trying to think about a Chan Sung Jung fight. And he kind of said when he got hit in the 3rd round, he kind of got dazed and was kind of going on autopilot, which I've heard happen, and I totally get that. But even in the beginning, man, he was kind of nullified, and Chan Sung Jung doesn't get nullified very often. He's fought Jose Aldo, and even that was a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, really wish Jung would have gotten the title fight that after he had that fight with Aldo and got injured, but maybe he's come back before, so we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Jimmy Crute against Modestas Bukauskas, like 2 top prospects. That was a great fight, and just Crute with just landing clean, heavy shots on the chin, and that was all she wrote. And I think he can definitely be a great prospect at 205, and really like the afterwards, the respect he kind of showed. He knocked him out and just sat next to him and just put his hand over his shoulder and just checked in on him. And you could tell Bukauskas was like out for a while, and then he kind of tried to say like, "Oh, what happened?" So, but yeah, that was a dominant performance from Crute, and I think he can definitely. That was another top prospect stopped by him. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, big fan of when they show respect. Like you said, I love when they do stuff like that. And the cool thing about this one is that I thought. I think Bukauskas, I think I've seen him fight early. He's very, very movement oriented. I think he actually looked good. It wasn't like a case of him looking really, really bad. I think Jimmy just looked really, really good. So, I'm excited to see both of those guys kind of keep on moving. And then another one is now pretty much Jessica Andrade just got a pretty much guaranteed title shot at flyweight.
Yeah.
Basically. Absolutely. I mean, knocked out the number 1 girl after – I don't know why it's slipping my mind. I think Valentina has somebody right now, but if she gets through her, I just said a title shot. So then Jessica, I think, is going to fight whoever's got the belt.
Yeah, and then looking on the card, Yeah, Thomas Almeida, if you might remember him, he had a loss against Jonathan Martinez. It was really high on this guy a few years ago, and him and Cody Garbrandt had that matchup. I thought these are the two want for the future. These guys gonna rule the division, and yeah, it's kind of has never recovered since that Garbrandt knockout.
Yeah, he fell off. He fell off very quickly. I remember a lot of people do forget he was a freaking hot
22 and
prospect.
0.
He was a hot prospect there for a second, man. He had that flying knee knockout against Brad Pickett in the second round. Looked nice, man.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then that's all I got from this one. Really?
I guess there was the controversy with the Guram Kutateladze against Mateusz Gamrot, and Mateusz Gamrot's like top Polish prospect, also undefeated lightweight, and he lost by split decision. And Guram, after the fight, even for the first time ever, kind of said on an interview, guys, like, I don't know why they gave me a win. I lost this one. Like, and he was so open about it. And yeah, I guess they might do a rematch down the line because most people online also thought Gamrot won the fight.
Yeah, I did see that, and I love that. I love it. I dislike so much when they just try to lie. I love when they're honest about it, because I think there's been many cases where someone probably got a decision. They were like, what?
Yeah.
In one case that reminds me of was Joe Lozon is the only other case that I can think of. He did it once. He got a decision over somebody, and he was like, that was not my night. I completely disagree with that decision. And it's just great to see. And so, yeah, the Jimmy Crute, so a lot of respect on this one. Everybody else. And then Brian Ortega, Chance and John at the end. They had some weird, I don't know what their vendetta was. They had some weird.
They had like a weird feud, and then Brian
Ortega. Brian
Ortega like attacked like some Korean rapper or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways, they were cool at the end of it, so a lot of respect.
Yeah. And then I guess, we have the Kutateladze and Gamrot. Yeah, both got 50K, so that's really good. Yeah, at least. Yeah.
All right. You want to go to the main one?
Yeah, so I guess we can preview the 254. I guess we can start at the bottom of the main card, and I think this is like fifth time we're predicting this fight because it keeps getting canceled. It's Magomed Ankalaev and Ion Cutelaba. I wonder if it's ever going to happen, but I mean, I'm still sticking at Ankalaev on this one.
I'm just going to stick with Cutelaba just because if I switch now, that would be really lame. I think we got to stay divided.
Yes, right. Absolutely. So we can just quickly jump to the next one. You have Lauren Murphy from the lab facing Lilia Shakirova from Uzbekistan, I believe.
Yeah, I'm looking into it right now, bro. That sounds fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, and she has 8-1 record and seems like a good prospect coming out of Uzbekistan. But yeah, she hasn't had any UFC fights yet, so I think Lauren Murphy just has that UFC experience. I think that's gonna give her the edge because she's fought kind of who's who in her division.
Yeah, I kind of looked at it. A lot of gosh, I'm so bad at some of these. Shakirova, her name. A lot of her fights came in kind of a small, regional, small area. Like you said, not a lot of experience. I think Lauren Murphy is going to win. I think she's been looking really good, showing a good attitude. So, yeah, I think Lauren Murphy is going to take this one as well.
The next one, what do you think of the next one? Phil Haves against Jacob Malkin.
I don't know, because I like Philip Hawes in this one, but I just think that for them to bring in someone who's only 4-0, I just think that guy's got to be he's got to be a hot prospect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, not too familiar with him, but I guess he's looked pretty good in his career so far. But again, that's also surprising in the so-called biggest card in history, like Dana White said. That's like relatively unknown fighters on there, but I guess I'm just going to stick with Phil on this one just because you definitely get more information on him, and he hasn't looked bad so far. So
yeah, Philip Hawes, he's much more highly touted. I've heard he's fantastic in the gym, and if he gets it really clicking in the on the days of performances, he's gonna be good. So yeah, I'll stick with that one.
And next one's
Volkov versus
one. Volkov Harris, yes. So I guess Volkov definitely, I think, has the more technical striking, but I guess in the past he's had the chance. He's been winning fights and has problems with guys who have knockout power.
Volkov's been letting me
And that's
down.
what Walt Harris is almost like a coin toss watching him fight in a way that like he can just catch someone and knock them out, or he's gonna be knocked out himself. So it's an interesting one, but I think Volkov is gonna fight more technically, and I think he's gonna get the finish.
Yeah, Volkov's let me down. The Derek Lewis knockout at the end when I picked him over.
You picked him also over Curtis Blades. That's the
I
one I got you over with once.
I was just gonna say that when the Curtis Blades would let me down there. Gosh, I don't know his length. Because I think on paper Volkov would be the better striker, and he's longer. And let's go. I'm gonna go. I think Volkov's gonna get it. I think he's gonna have good length. I think he's gonna be a little bit better on the feet. And I think Harris is gonna be not as efficient.
Yeah, and the next one I think is the toughest one, at least for me, on the card. It's Robert Whittaker and Jared Cannonier. What do you think of this one?
I'll tell you, it's the toughest to pick in terms of like fans too, because I like both of these guys, like super big fans of both of them. I've enjoyed thoroughly listening to their interviews, down to earth, interesting, funny guys. I don't know, because what I'm leaning towards is I think that Robert's probably more technical on the feet, but I think Jared has a really good chance of landing that knockout strike. But is it the case where Jared's technical prowess is better than we think, and it's because his power is so good? Who knows? But I think Robert's movement's going to be really hard to deal with. And, man, like, how powerful is Jared? Will he catch him? Would he win a decision if it goes 5 rounds? What's Jared's gas tank like? I am having a really hard time making this decision. I think Jared Cannonier is going to win.
Yeah.
I think he is going to overpower him early. Don't necessarily know if he's going to get him out of there, but I'm just leaning towards Jared.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be more I'm always picking against Robert Whittaker, and it's nothing personal, but yeah, I did think he lost at least one of those Romero fights. So I guess
second one.
I always keep picking against Robert Whittaker, and it always ends up backfiring on me.
Yeah, so I got you with him against Still.
I'm going to go with Robert Whittaker this time. I think he's been through a lot of wars. I think he will be able to handle Jared's power, and I think he's just going to have a little more in the gas tank. Fought like these five round fights constantly. I think Whittaker is going to edge out very narrow decision, I think.
Dude, I am so looking forward to not only this fight, but just this entire card. Because I keep like scoping the prelims, dude. And even the prelims are just crazy.
Yeah.
But we've got the main one, the one, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Justin the Highlight Reel Gaethje for the lightweight title.
The big one.
Who do you have?
Yeah, I've definitely been big fan of Justin Gaethje even since his World Series of Fighting days, and just met him in person. Really nice guy, and I kind of had a feeling he could potentially catch Tony Ferguson, and that's what happened. But in a way, like, I can just see Khabib just kind of nullifying this whole striking. I think he just came out that his goal is to take him down 100 times in this fight. And I think as long as Khabib doesn't get rocked, I think he's definitely the favorite to win this one. I think Ferguson might have the best chance to beat Khabib, as I was saying beforehand. But I think with this style matchup, I think obviously I wouldn't be too surprised if actually Gaethje would get the knockouts, catch him early. But that would be something. That would be something I would definitely want to see happen. Just shock the world and stop Khabib, but I think Khabib is just gonna. I think there's gonna be moments where he maybe gets outstruck by Gaethje, but I think ultimately he's gonna control him on the ground really well and put on a lot of pressure. I think Gaethje's grown since like some of his losses, but I think Eddie Alvarez kind of showed like putting pressure on him, and I guess as long as he matches the pressure, doesn't get hot, I think Khabib's gonna get a decision.
Yeah, I mean that is what you just said is probably probably be the most common one, right? I think everyone can agree that is the scenario that makes the most sense, right? But my brain is just not overpowering my heart, man. My heart, man. Dude, I think Justin Gaethje is freaking different, dude. I think he is a sociopath. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, I think he's going to be a freaking lunatic. But then Khabib's stoicism, domination is just, I just love this fight on so many levels, and I hate that I have to pick because, I got to pick. I'm going with my heart, man. Gaethje's going to get it done, brother. Leg kicks, dog.
Should be a really exciting one to watch for sure.
Leg kicks, dog. American folk style wrestling from Arizona, Stafford, Arizona.
That's a really good point you brought back up, that Gaethje's wrestling background a lot of people forget about.
All-American, man. He's wrestling against Jordan Burroughs, man. Spelled Jordan Burroughs. Jordan Burroughs is going to feel a little bit different than Khabib, but also different styles. And also, I love the build-up because you have Khabib's just his stoicism, his pride, his controlled emotions, his strength, very personified. You have Justin Gaethje's just honesty. I love it. I think he is so real. So I love
I gotta watch some of these previews now. I need to get myself even more pumped for this after hearing you, for sure.
Dude, I'm hyped, bro. Justin Gaethje, like, man, he's like, they're giving him the interim belt, like, to take pictures. Like, oh, fuck. He's like, I want that one. He's like, take this, I want that one. And I'm like, that's so gangster. So gangster. All right, man.
And I guess you can just quickly jump in some MMA news. One of the ones that jumped me out was this KSW, the Polish promotion, are doing this bare knuckle fight with elbows. So it's going to be this brutal fight card. And guess who's in the main event of it?
Who? Stop it. Who? I'm trying to find
Josh Barnett. Josh Barnett is going to take a fight against this guy, Marcin Rosalski. Yeah. And since I got my camera on here, I want to tell you, is this not the most scariest fighter you've ever seen in your life?
My goodness.
Those are face tattoos.
He looks like one of those typical characters from a comic book where he was in prison for a crime he committed when he was really young and he has never seen light. And the only reason why he wanted to feel anything was to get tattooed from head to toe. That guy, that looks like that's a 1993 UFC poster, man.
Well, yeah, and it is all about bare knuckle violence, purest form of violence, and it's built that way. And I guess it's gonna be like a lot of clinch boxing with elbows and.
I would, dude, and seriously, but think about how much better it would be with no gloves too, right? To do that in tight like elbows. So I'm in for it, man. I'm not in for the repercussions, but that they're gonna have, but I'll watch it, man. I'm in.
Well, that's what's happening in Poland actually tonight. So that would be we'll definitely review what's going to happen. Yes, it's Friday night tonight in Poland actually. So by the time video goes up, it might have happened already.
Oh, nice. We'll try to look into it, see what happened, man.
Yeah, it's 2 p.m. Eastern time from what I see. So it would be actually pretty soon. I guess the main card starts. I guess it's going to be a little later, but I guess it might be around 2 p.m. Arizona time when Josh mixes up with Marcin, who is actually former KSW champion and is a more of a striker rather than Josh. So it's going to be very interesting, actually.
Yeah, it is interesting. One thing I wanted to touch on, because I think we need to, is the Leon Edwards.
That was about what I was about to say next. It was just heard the Leon Edwards news.
I'm not sure if it's true. I didn't check on it, but I at least heard that they removed him from the rankings. So regardless of whether they did or did not, somebody's playing chicken. Somebody's messing with somebody. I think this is a classic case of like, I get what Leon is standing for. I totally get that he feels like fairness, skipping over, but when you really like, that's just not the world that we live in, especially in the UFC. So it's like, like 16 months of inactivity, like you're going to get removed from the rankings. Well, Connor didn't get removed for 5 years. Okay,
I mean, Connor has been
we're just gonna
removed
pretend
before.
like they don't play favorites. Like, so don't play me like that. We know this, brother. Like, so and now he's calling out Shamibov to redeem himself. It's like, dude, you could have done this a long time ago. Are you doing this to try to get more money, more eyes? Because he's just, even though I get what he's trying to do, I just think it's just coming off just not very well for everybody
I think
else.
he needs to finish that Jorge. That's the matchup I want to see at least finish off that one. But from what I hear, it's been Hamzat is the one that might be the one, and Hamzat wants to smash him apparently, from what I heard.
He just needs to fight somebody, man. And I get that he, in some cases, he could have waited for a title shot, but this was just not one of those cases, and he needs to let go and try to kind of find a new game plan. I think maybe I'm just being hard on him, but it's I guess the proof is in the pudding though, because his last win, with all due respect, was RDA. In 2019, and RDA since then has significantly fallen off in terms of, if you beat him, you immediately get a title shot. And his win before that was Gunnar Nelson by split decision.
Split decision. Mm-hmm.
Which, if you watch that fight, it wasn't very close. I don't think it was split. But even then, if you tell me I want a title shot, and you tell me 2 fights ago you fought Gunnar Nelson, which, no disrespect, maybe 3 or 4 fights ago is fantastic because he's probably a top 10. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, just pick either Jorge or Hamzat and just do it.
And I'm looking at it. It's a fantastic win streak, man. It's a fantastic win streak that needs to be capped off by somebody. That's not RDA, unfortunately. Sorry, RDA.
Yeah.
So that would be. I just wanted to bring that up in terms of that. Maybe I'm incorrect. I'd love to hear everybody else's ideas or thoughts about that.
Yeah, and then I guess we can just, before closing, I guess we can just jump into Bellator real quick. What else is going to happen? It's going to be Gegard Mousasi against Douglas Lima for the vacant 185-pound title. So that's something to look forward to, absolutely. And then,
without question, brother.
And then also the All-American Jake Hager actually is going to fight again. So he's been training a lot in AEW at Chris Jericho and Inner Circle. So
I
think that's gonna pay dividends in this fight.
Yeah, they're gonna allow steel chairs into this one. Yeah, I saw the name, another name I didn't recognize, which, that's fine. If what is Hagar's intention? Isn't his intention to keep on fighting guys, or is his intention to really this slowly build himself up to fight? And
seems like almost like this Bobby Lashley case. He was still doing pro wrestling, still fighting, and
but even
never really.
Lashley was fighting good dudes, though. Lashley was fighting good dudes. I remember James Thompson, who has really significantly fallen off, but he has experience. But
I could see Hager kind of going that path, that he's gonna get to good level guys, but he's never quite gonna fight like top UFC guys. He's gonna just go around Bellator fighting. Just
give me like a Czech Congo. Give me some. Give me something, man.
I guess you kind of need to switch away from AEW for a bit if you want to fight Czech Congo, though. So that's a good point, I think.
True, but he's been wanting to fight more.
Yeah, and then another one, really quick, I want to mention Corey Anderson, who just out of nowhere left the UFC. He's going to fight Melvin Menhoff in his debut.
I saw that.
That's going to be so interesting to see. And, I mean, if you look at Corey Anderson, I mean, he lost to Jan Blachowicz, which now isn't it's not that big of a blemish in his record, really. He was the champion, and he stopped Johnny Walker, Ilir Latifi, Glover Teixeira beforehand. So I guess, yeah, he could definitely become, if he gets past Manhoff, he could definitely get a title shot, or Ryan Bader, let's say.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's any top fiver coming from the UFC is going to be pretty much an immediate title prospect without question. And like you said, the Manhoff fight, I'm so fascinated in. I think he's gonna win that fight. I don't see him having an issue. If he gets knocked out, I wouldn't be the most shocked.
Obviously Manhoff is gonna go guns blazing, but I think I'm still picking Anderson.
And that's if anything, the one thing I really enjoy about Corey Anderson and Curtis Blades, these two guys specifically, they're not like, he's like, I'm not even going to remotely pretend like I'm trying to fight you. I don't want to get punched in the face at all, which is kind of the reason why both of them are disliked in some regards, because Curtis Blades, once again, is like, I don't want to strike on the feet at all. And then Corey Anderson is very similar to that. They're stubborn in that way, and I think he's going to get Melvin down pretty easily. But
yeah,
what the hell do I know?
Yeah.
But,
Yep, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but I'm gonna watch it and I'm fascinated and I'm in.
Absolutely. Any closing remarks regarding anything?
I'm looking, man. Nothing's really jumping out at me, and just off the top of my head, nothing really. I guess one thing, because I am just a little curious, just because it was mentioned, and we'll let the cat out of the bag because he's kind of the hot commodity right now. But how do you feel with how much attention they're giving Khamzat Shamibov or something or whatever?
Chimaev.
Do you like he's like they're giving him like I said, like an annoying amount. Like they're taking selfies together. He's watching fights next to the bus. Like I don't know, man. Like that's just too much to me.
It's almost like Conor McGregor-esque attention. Like I haven't seen that much since then. Yeah.
And it's like, dude, like, he just beat Gerald. Gerald Meerschaert. He's the first person to get so much hype coming off of, not top 15 wins.
Yeah, I guess just dominant performances and this air of mystique about him or something.
And that's what freaks me out. It must be something that I can't see. Why else? Like this mystique, like you said, everybody says he just feels different. So once again, I'm not saying it's ill-informed. I just think that, man, like they need to really like make sure, dude. He could slip on a banana peel and who knows what. Like they need to make sure. That's just all that I'm saying.
Even recent memory, Johnny Walker was one of the cases who was kind of falling off the radar after getting high. But I think Khamzat is still. I think he's definitely gonna get a title shot at some point for sure. I think he is the real deal.
Cool. Well, I hope so, man, because that's gonna be a lot of wasted money in terms of business if that doesn't play out.
Yeah.
That would be it, because you know me, man. I'm going to the only website that you can go to for news. BJPenn.com.
Yes.
And that's really only just because it is a joke. There's probably other better sites. Sorry to anybody else who I might have offended with that.
Sorry, Sherdog, Ariel Holwani, and all these people. BJPenn.com.
Sherdog. But no, man, I'm all set. As far as closing remarks, man, to everyone who's like, where the hell have we been? Just been withdrawn a little bit, been doing other stuff. No good excuses, but we'll try to be a little more active on this.
Yeah, COVID has closed the gyms in Latvia now, so I guess I'll have more time watching fights and recording podcasts now.
You more specific than me over the last couple of weeks that we've been kind of ghosting has seen significant life changes. So good reason to kind of chill out, take a little bit of a break, but we will be hopping back into the swing of things. Fair enough?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll be soon reviewing the big title fight.
Yeah. We'll be going over that. What else is coming up? Just this is me just throwing them out that we got.
Anderson Silva and Uriah Hall. Anderson Silva's last fight, so that's going to be a very interesting one.
And I'm hoping, dude, Andre Feely and Bryce Mitchell. Oh, I can't wait to watch Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm just gonna get some popcorn and try to stream the KSW bare knuckle Alba bloody violence fight tonight.
Bro, this card is sick, dude. Hear this out, and we got some time. Uriah Hall, Anderson Silva, duh. I said Feely and Mitchell. You have Kevin Holland, who's at middleweight that's making some noise. Greg Hardy is not even in the co-main event slot. Bobby Green and even Thiago Moises, I know who that guy is. They are the first fight. And then you have Alexander Hernandez and Sean Strickland and Courtney Casey on the freaking prelims. That is a hell of a fight card. Or fight night, I should say. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, still Chris Grutzmacher, Sean Strickland, a lot of guys on the undercard that could be good prospects still. And
Chris Grutzmacher, he was a tough alum, right?
he was at the lab, as well.
Yeah, sweet. That's exciting.
Yeah, so it's very, very lots of fights coming up in weeks to come, and they just keep popping up out of nowhere with the whole COVID situation. People just jump in and out of cards.
Yeah, man, Hernandez, that's a big opportunity for Chris.
I guess.
And then after that, we have Santos Teixeira to make the hopefully the number one contender for Blachowicz.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man! That's exciting stuff to look forward to.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I think we're all good, man. You all good?
All
right, brother. The Latvian versus the American. We butted heads a little bit today. We gonna see who's gonna take this event today. This is one of the pristine events of the year. This is our, what is it? There's like a international fight week. This is our international fight week. All right. I don't know why I'm still talking. All right. Peace out, world.